Hey, welcome to Texas Tuesday, where we talk about the best cities in Texas. We talk about dream home questionnaires. And today, the topic is going to be hot tips on moving to Texas. So if you were thinking about moving to Texas, this is going to be a good video for you. We have Miss Vanessa Macy, who has made that transition from California to Texas. She has some great tips. We have Kay Patel. We have lots of team here, right? That can help you, because that's what we specialize in, is helping you make that transition. It's a big move, and I got some people here for you. Also, real quick, if you have not filled out the Dream Home questionnaire yet, fill it out. It's in the link below, and that's when you can schedule a one-on-one consultation with one of our fantastic agents. So one thing I love about this Texas Tuesdays, you get to meet some of our agents on the team, and you get to really get a sense of their expertise. They really are experts in this area, in real estate and in Texas, and they are chosen because they have like values and like work ethic. So I have great team members here. So let's just open this up. Oh yeah, and if you have any comments, put them in the comments section, and we can answer them. Sorry, I was going to push a little button. Okay, no, that's not the right button. Okay, that's okay. It said my last didn't save. All right, well, very good. Howdy. Okay, all right, so let me turn. It's not my birthday, by the way, guys. Just letting you know, that was for someone at our office. It has happy birthday in the background. Wish me happy birthday in December. Okay, all right, who wants to go first? Some of the best, you want to go first, Vanessa, on some of the best tips? Because Vanessa made the move. In fact, your videos are coming out this week. We're going to start, we made a video series where you get to share your experience. But I know you have tips too. So
yeah. So one of the things that we did to prepare to move to Texas is both my husband and I, we looked at the job markets on things that we specialize in. So of course I looked at real estate and property management to just see how the jobs are, even if you have a job, in case you want to change or in case anything. And of course you need to have your career to qualify for your loan. So just making sure that transitions well, and then just seeing if there's backup to give you security. So my husband, in his field, he realized there's tons of work. So that gave him some security with moving to Texas. And then in my field, there's tons of work. And then I was already working with a great realtor. And then one other thing, when you are getting a moving company, don't go with the cheapest quote. It's like bait and switch all the time. And I did that. I made that mistake. Don't go with them. Make sure they come out to your house and look at the things that you have, because I end up having to throw a lot of stuff away. And that's another tip. If you don't get a good mover, you might I end up throwing a lot of stuff away because they banged it up and messed it up. And then in your new space, you just want new things. So consider maybe not taking a lot of stuff with you, or at least hiring a really good mover and making sure they come out, because they will bait and switch you. So I was like $2,500 or more over the price that they quoted me. And then I still didn't get to take a lot of stuff. What else? There is, and then, so also with the moving company, make sure that, they move other people's things. They don't just move your things. So there's a schedule. So we were at least a week without our refrigerator and our things. So plan for that. Either plan to stay behind a couple of days to when they're going to get there, or when you get to Texas, have a plan for like a fridge or certain things that you need that is on the moving truck, or like your products or anything.
I have a tip on refrigerators.
Yeah.
Y'all may know this, but there's a lot if you're going to buy a new refrigerator and not bring your own, like I would recommend bringing your own, my 2 cents, because they are on back order. So if you know that you're moving, you may want to, talk to your lender first, but you may want to go ahead and order the refrigerator ASAP, or bring your own, or get a mini fridge or something, because are you guys finding a lot of people without refrigerators?
They're starting to come back in stock more.
Oh, they are.
Or even having a temporary fridge, maybe going over to one of those used appliance stores. I know some people would just pick up $100, $200 fridge until they get their nice one that they've ordered.
That's a good tip.
But I really like how you mentioned in there, Dana, to check with your lender first,
Yeah.
because that's sometimes can create a big hiccup in the transaction. If you guys are already under contract, you want to make sure that you're not opening any more lines of credit while you are in the underwriting process. So that's a big thing. Good point.
Yeah. And also knowing just in general that fridges don't come with homes in Texas. It is something that would be extra and it would need to be negotiated with. A lot of other states, the refrigerator, washer, and dryer may convey with the sale of a home, but it does not in Texas.
True. Okay. You do have to get your own refrigerator. Now, if you're renting, usually is the refrigerator usually in there?
It depends. Some of them, they make you rent your own, bring your own. So, what we do is we like to look at the listing and see on the listing if the refrigerator does come with it. And if not, I always suggest you can always rent one, like at Rent-A-Center, or just blind one. Bring one in.
Okay, yeah.
I want to switch to washer and dryer. I know you guys in some of California have gas washer and dryers. We do not have those here in Texas, or I've only seen one out of almost every home I've seen. So very limited. Most of ours are going to be electric. I know you guys use that for energy conservation, but we don't have that issue here. So we are mainly electric washer and dryer.
That is a good point. I do know of some people that have moved from out of state here, kept their washer and dryer, and then had to get rid of it. So that's a large appliance. So if you have gas, just know most of the homes here have electric. That's a very, very good point, Kevin.
I want to make another one.
Okay.
If you're coming from out of country, you might be running on 220 ampage. We only have 110 over here. So if you have some appliances that are used to running off of that, just know I've got a client that came from Czech Republic, and he's got certain coffee maker and stuff that he likes. So we're looking on how to get special wiring in his house so that he can bring that stuff over with him. And like Vanessa said, maybe just doing a garage sale or getting rid of a lot of stuff and getting fresh furniture for your new space. It's probably going to fit different anyways. So less headache as far as moving, new life, new house, new furniture too.
Yeah.
Moving can be quite expensive.
Yeah.
So it's just better to, I mean, in my opinion, I had a very difficult time moving a lot of our stuff over, and we ended up getting rid of it, similar to Vanessa. So it was a very costly move, and then we ended up having to spend more money just to get new stuff anyways. So if we had just downgraded or downsized from the beginning, it would have saved us a lot of time and money.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, same experience.
I have a tip too.
Okay.
So one of my client is moving from Washington State, and he decided to build, but his house is not ready yet. So, but his house in Washington sold already, so he had to move. So it ended up being cheaper to store it in Washington State versus storing in Dallas. So check the rates from both cities instead of bringing everything down and putting in storage here. It may be better to have them store it in your state, wherever you are. And then when you're ready, they can just bring it down.
That's a great tip.
In the meantime, you can stay in an Airbnb, so you don't have to bring your furniture with you, or just one of those. I mean, granted, it was only a month, but if you're talking like 12 months, who knows? But
yeah.
So
check rates first.
Right. Check rates. It may be more affordable to be local.
So that's a good tip.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought of that one.
I wouldn't have either. That's great.
Other thoughts.
One thing that would have really helped me when I was moving here way long ago was to understand what I wanted in a community and not just in a home. I think that we focus a lot on what we want in a house, and that is fantastic. We want you to get the perfect home, absolutely. But knowing what you want in a community and really understanding that is going to help us make sure that we service you guys the best and help any of your agents just know exactly what you're looking for, so we can help guide you as far as what would be that proper community for you.
Yeah, that's really good. That's what we specialize in, is to help you narrow down where to live. And it really is about the lifestyle you're looking for. It could be schools, it could be values, it could be a country vibe or a city vibe or all these things, which we have those questions on our Dream Home questionnaire. So if you wonder why, it's because it really is more about the community and then finding your home, because we can find you a home in the community. But we want to help you in that. So fill out the questionnaire. So it says, what is a rough estimate in cost to get 20 cubic meters out of the port in Houston and then trucked to Plano? Ooh, I have no idea.
Yeah. That's how they measure it, the moving company.
Okay.
Yeah, by cubic. I have no idea though. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't.
I don't have the up-to-date rates.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. They may be changing on a regular basis the rates on that. So I
Yeah.
apologize. We would have to do some research on that.
I do know rates have gone up for any kind of truckloads or anything that you're doing transportation-wise. Rates have definitely gone up for that. So
Okay.
I would expect that it might be a little bit higher than what we were used to several years ago. So we can definitely double check that for you as your agents and let you guys
Yeah,
know.
absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely. Any other thoughts?
If I could just go on with what Kay was saying, I get the question a lot, is it too early to start? Is it too early to start? I would like to say it's never too early to start, especially when you're trying to research the community. I'm working with people that are buying in about 2 years. That's a plan.
Yeah.
And I think it's great. I mean, it's a way for them to do the research too and to really get an idea of where they want to live, because you don't want to be stuck with a mortgage when, you don't
Yeah,
really like the area.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So maybe I would say make as many trips as possible,
Right.
because many people, here, I'll put the camera on me. So what we find in the questionnaire is many people don't want to move twice or move the cons of renting before buying is you do have to move twice. You may have to move your children from school to school. And so if you can, make as many trips as possible to those areas that you've already narrowed down, talk to your agent about it, and that'll help you get more familiar, definitely.
Yeah.
So 2 trips would be great. 1 trip is okay, but I would say 2 or more is better. The more the merrier, right? But yes.
And I advise fill out the Dream Home Questionnaire, even if you're just considering Texas. That way you have a point of contact of an agent. Any question runs across, we're happy to answer it and help you guys, even if you're a year or 2 out. And also talking to the mortgage company a year in advance as well.
Yeah.
That's a big part of the puzzle. I think a lot of people are afraid. They don't necessarily want to get their credit ran and everything, which is okay. And you don't have to when you're talking with the mortgage company, but they're just as big of a piece of the puzzle as finding the right house is. So we might find the right house, but if we don't have all of our mortgage stuff ready to go, then that could cost us the house potentially. So even if it's a year out, making sure we have the employment, all the different criteria and credentials that they're going to need for, especially since we're primarily relocating out of state clients.
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry. That it's right here on my in my notes, is to have a good team together and start looking early to keep things organized. That is essential, is making sure you have your team together, because we can start helping you look years in advance. This doesn't have to be a last minute transition for you guys. This can be something that is very smooth, very seamless, and we can keep it organized for you. So never ever feel afraid or scared to reach out early. You're not wasting our time.
Yeah.
I want to emphasize that. I feel like a lot of people feel like they're wasting our time, and we are happy to help. This is what we're here for, and we're here to guide you guys. So as the earlier, the better.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
And I just wanted to add on what Kevin was saying is that when you, even if it's far out, do talk to a lender, even if it's a year in advance. I know a lot of people are nervous about like their job transition, and it turns out some lenders only want you to, they qualify, like as long as you're in the same like profession.
Yeah.
Like if you do sales, you're doing sales, and you can come out here and do sales, or a job offer might work. So sometimes people are intimidated about that employment piece, and just talk to the lender. And then yes, do talk to us, because we want to be a part of the process, even if it's far out. But get the lender, get the agent involved as soon as you can. It's not wasting anybody's time, and it helps you prepare better than preparing for it by yourself. Like if you're kind of shooting in the dark and worrying about things that you probably didn't have to worry about. So
Yeah. That's so good.
I'm going to touch on new construction too.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good idea.
So definitely come and get a feel for the area. You want to make sure that if you're going to build a house, it's somewhere that you've probably visited, or at least in the right environment. But we are here to help you guys, whether you're out of state or in state, through new build houses as well. We sell a lot of new build construction. I would say probably half of what we sell is new build construction. And so even if you guys are out of state, maybe it's the first time you've ever built a home, whether it be buying a piece of land and doing a custom build or building it through a traditional builder in a subdivision, we can help with both of those. And it also helps you set up your timeline as well. So whether you're renting over there or you're going to be selling, trying to get the timing right down, or at least to where we're within a couple months of each other and just have some temporary staying, if it's at a furnished Airbnb here, to transition into that. And we can also help you guys through each step of that. So if we're going to be doing a ground up build through the foundation, getting the frame, we can help you guys through that process, and keep you guys updated as well. Send you pictures. You don't have to come in every month to check on your build. We'll help you guys through that process.
That is cool. That is cool. Other thoughts? Any other tips?
Adding on to the new construction, we can also do virtual meetings with you guys. So that's another reason why it's so beneficial to have an agent, especially one of us, where we understand the new construction system just so well. We, like Kevin was saying, about 50% of our transactions are with new construction. So if you can't make it out to every meeting, or if you can't make it out to even the bigger meetings that are really important, know that you have eyes and ears on right here in town.
Yeah, that's really good. One thing that I love that you guys do is when you do your builder meetings virtually, when you record them through Zoom,
Yes.
it's really cool because it's really cool when you get your meeting with the builder recorded by Zoom, because you have a record of what they said.
Yeah.
And you can't just walk into a builder meeting and say, hey, can I record this? Because I used to like try to hide it, and I found out that's not appropriate. But Zoom is a great way to get it recorded, and you go, hey, my client's on Zoom, so is this okay? We're just going to record this on Zoom. And they go, yes. And then whenever something happens in the process and you're like, wait a minute, the builder promised these floors, because I had this is a real life example. And we were like, wait a minute, I have a recorded copy. And they're like, oh crud. Like the builder had to honor what they said. So many times the builders will say things, I don't think it's intentional, and then it's promised and it's not given. And when you have it recorded on Zoom.
Recording. So since a lot of our buyers are out of state and we do virtual tours of the home, so sometimes I can only get one spouse because of the time difference. Did you know you can record FaceTime as well on your phone?
I didn't know.
Yeah, so
That's
I
very
use
cool.
FaceTime
That's
because
great.
most people have iPhone. I'm sorry. So I have an
Sorry,
iPhone.
Android
and
users.
my- sorry, Android users.
Where's Robert?
But like, there is a setting in your iPhone, that you can record. So when I FaceTime my client, let's say the husband is only available, so I'll go into a house and I'll FaceTime him, and he can record it for his wife to see
Love
later.
that so much.
So it's not just Zoom, right? So
Yeah.
So most oftentimes our clients, hey, Twee, I really like this home. Can you go see it for us? Sure. What's a great time for us to FaceTime? So I'll go and FaceTime, and he'll hit record. And then later on, the wife can see
Love
it.
that
Okay?
so much.
So we can
That's
definitely do
wonderful.
it virtually for you for out-of-state buyers. It's not a problem at all. So that's our
Yes.
specialty.
Absolutely.
I have another thing. So I know with out of state buying, timing is really tough. So I just wanted to give tips for like how to get out here and time everything, like the job and all of those pieces are tough. So one way you can kind of make it work for you is doing new construction. You only have to put the earnest money down and get it started, and then you can kind of take some time to get all your ducks in a row to kind of transition out here. And then that's a good way to lock in the price. So as the prices are going up, if you already kind of locked in the price and made a contract for new construction, that can help you get all your ducks in a row. Another thing is consider maybe turn those homes that are not moved out already, and then see if the seller wants to do a lease back. And then you guys can kind of buy yourself a little bit more time with still purchasing earlier, where, you know, the home prices may be a little bit cheaper, and then you can do a lease back and see if your agent can negotiate a time for how long to lease back, because that might work out for the seller as well. And then I think what's another one? Well, I think just pretty much a lease back, so you don't have to move twice, and then new construction is a really great way to kind of set yourself up for more time.
That's really good.
Mhm.
It's really good. Any final thoughts?
I have some.
Oh,
so
go for it. Go for it.
I have some more. So another thing is, I was really excited to move to Texas, and what you can do is start looking up things that you do back where you're from that will transition well. Like there's particular spas I like to go to. I'm like, well, do they have these type of spas in Texas? And of course, Texas has everything and more. So it's so you.
Bigger and better.
It's true. So you look up everything that you want to do, and then you kind of see where all those places are, and you can consider those things, not just the community, but consider how far those things are. And I found like a lot of areas, kind of cities in the middle of the DFW and between Dallas and Fort Worth are pretty cool, because I mean there's tons of things to do all over, but then I'm a big person on doing different things. So it's like I'm looking up, oh, where can I get kayaks? Because I'm from California and we would kayak. So it's like, where can I get kayaks? Turns out you can still kayak in Texas because there's tons of lakes. So looking up where the lakes are, looking up where activities for your children are, like, oh, is there a Chuck E. Cheese? I mean, I don't even go to Chuck E. Cheese because there's Urban Air and there's Kids Zone. So there's so many other things that you want to look up. And then I just study the DFW map, because there's tons of cities. So like when you hear a city, you'll know kind of where it is. Just kind of study that map and figure out where the things are that you like to do, and maybe center yourself somewhere in proximity. Another thing is, when you're going places, make extra time if you're going to get on the freeway. And I'm from LA, so I'm used to traffic, but this is different to prepare. It's the freeways are different. So there's tons of split offs, and I guarantee you're going to get off on the wrong exit all the time, because it's always splitting off, or you're going to end up on some other freeway. So just prepare.
I still do that.
Not just the traffic, but prepare for that, because that's different. Like if you're from a state that has simpler freeways, I feel like California has simpler freeways. Prepare to get lost on the freeway. But it's still worth it. It's still worth it. Texas.
Simple, but
Yeah, and then toll tags. Prepare yourself for some of the benefits that Texas has too, because you can like if you're coming from California or Washington, you can exempt your children from having to have their vaccinations. So you can start looking into that paperwork and how that process is, and it's super easy. Start looking into the homestead exemption and how that process works. And then the other thing about Texas is, a lot of areas that you move into, you can choose your electricity company, and they're competitive. So, I mean, some places you have to have a specific electricity company, but there are some places where you can shop rates for electricity, and it's not like a monopoly on the electric company. So start looking into stuff like that too.
Yeah, that's really good.
I think that's the main things I had.
Okay, that's very good. How about you? Did you have any
My last thoughts would just say, if you can fill out that dream home questionnaire, and from there we always go to a Zoom consult where we book a meeting with you guys via Zoom to really listen what's most important to you and be able to help kind of guide you towards certain cities or different areas of the Metroplex that we feel would best fit your needs. That way, when you guys come into town, that you're not completely lost. I know some clients want to come into town, they want to tour things on their own, and we are working on something to where we're going to be able to offer guided tours. So that's in the works right now to better serve you guys. So be looking forward to that coming out, but really just kind of finding the most information on the areas, doing your research before you get here. That way, when you're here driving around visiting town, you're not just aimlessly going about things, because our city is pretty big. The only last two things I would say is, if you're coming in to look at new construction on holiday weekends, the builders are going to be closed. I know that it's great for having a 3-day weekend or so, but just expect that if you're wanting to go into the model homes, they're going to be closed. And then the other part I would say is, when you're checking out different cities, try to keep it to probably a max of 3 cities per day, or you're going to start
Yeah.
forgetting where you traveled and get overwhelmed. And when I'm talking cities, I kind of mean like suburb cities. We just call them all different cities because they're pretty well populated around here.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a great tip. And we have a video, I did a video on how to plan a trip to Texas. And that is one of them. Like 3 cities is the max per day, preferably 2 cities, but 3 max. And then we're working on some guided group tours as well as some other things behind the scenes. So you'll see something come out soon. And I think that's it, guys. So thanks so much for tuning in. Again, fill out that Dream Home questionnaire if you haven't yet. And have a great day. Thanks so much for tuning in.